Now, this isn't the first time it's ever happened to me, but I just tipped, like, me fucking lid was off. This lid is pretty sturdy. This is a fucking really solid tobacco tin. 12-ounce tobacco, right? None nicer, 3 nuns, ha 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 ha. I look at the side, it's an English product, made in Britain. But I had the lid off, it was kind of on the edge of on the fucking desk there, on a presser piece, and I clipped it. Now, my tobacco, it's not all gone. Some of it fell on my boot, and I could tap it back in, and the whole tin didn't spill. Most of it did. This was pretty full, right? It was about half full. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering or curious, if maybe, well, how does he get his tobacco? Like, where does he buy it from? Does he get it from the reserve? Does he buy it from the store? Like, how much does he spend on tobacco? Because tobacco, if anybody like is a smoker or non-smoker, should be aware that tobacco ain't cheap, right? Even the fucking native tobacco. First off, it's very far away. It's like there's a reserve about 45 minutes away that sells, relatively priced tobacco, but it's not free and it's still not all that cheap, right? Like I was buying cartons for a while, and a carton is $25 right now. I was working at the time, right? But I go through about a carton a week, right? I've been a lifelong smoker, right? Like, I'm an addict. I'm a fucking habitual cigarette smoker, right? So I smoke, like, especially when I'm all stressed out, like a pack a day, right? So there's about fucking 7 packs in a carton. A carton lasts a week, right? So I'd buy 4 packs, last me the month, cost me a little over $100, right? But so I was buying, like, pouches from the reserve for a little while, just tobacco, not rolled. You know what I mean? And those still were like $20, $25 for a pouch, a single pouch. And a pouch will last me a little longer than a pack of smokes, but it still won't last me about 30 or fucking like 4 days. One pouch would last me about 4 or 5 days, right? And like I smoke a lot, right? And I can't always go to the reserve and fucking TaylorMade's at the store. Even the cheapest 20 pack that you can get is like fucking $14 or $15 these days, right? Now, so many things, I keep saying I can't fucking afford that. Even when I was working, I wasn't fucking making like fucking $25, $30 an hour. I was making fucking right a little above minimum wage, and I work like I wasn't a technical full-time employee, even though I did fucking bust my ass for sometimes more than 40 hours a week. Even if I got the full-time position, I wouldn't have been a full-time employee. I'd still be part-time, and it was like I got other expenses, right? Like, I owe my mom a lot of money for, like, the course of, like, she's paid for things and stuff like that. And, like, I got expenses, right? So, like, I can't owe my money, can't go to fucking cigarettes. But I was still buying them either from the store, because I'm an addict, or, like, I'm a fucking habitual cigarette smoker, or I'd buy them from the reserve when I could, right? Fortunately, me mom and my stepdad and their fucking ever, like, endless fucking kindness and helpfulness and stuff like that would drive me out there, even though they don't agree with me smoking and all that stuff. They never have. So I really appreciate that, right? But, what was I getting at? My point is, I spilled me bloody tin. It's not the first time it's happened. It's not the end of the world, right? I was a little bit, fuck, right? And it's not like I don't buy, like, I'll be completely direct and honest with you. I don't buy my fucking cigarette. I don't buy my tobacco from stores. I don't buy it at all, right? I don't go out and I don't ask people for cigarettes. I never do. Every once in a while, somebody will offer me a smoke, right? If they see me doing what I'm doing, and I'll accept it, right? But, like, I don't ask people for smokes. I very rarely ever do. There might be a time, right, where I'm like, oh, I may if I got a cigarette, but usually I don't, right? Like, it's just, like, it's unnecessary. But, so, I still am, after all. Like, I've cut lots of things out of my life. Like, but I still smoke, right? Like, I smoke cigarettes. Or I smoke tobacco. And I require tobacco. So, therefore, that's said and done. Just like so much and fucking pretty much all and everything I do. I go out and I hunt and I gather and I forage for tobacco, right? Now, if you think about it this way. Like myself, tobacco smokers, cigarette smokers are habitual. They're addicts. They do it every day. And when you smoke cigarettes, you don't just smoke 1 or 2 a day, right? Some people may be able to pull that off, but most don't, right? They smoke half a pack. They smoke a full pack. And they smoke like people are fucking creatures of habit, right? They have regularities, so they'll smoke. Like, you can't really smoke inside or anything, or under like the gazebo at the fucking bar or anything, but there are places to smoke, right? So there's ashtrays, there's cinder butts, and even if not, even if there's no fucking cinder butt around, fucking smokers like corners. They like to be out of the wind. Like, they like a fucking acronym of comfort as well, right? And they have, like, regularities. They have places they prefer. So you look at, I don't know, like the corner of the bar, like, you know, or like smokers, for example, they smoke a lot, right? A lot of them. So when they pull up to the store in their car, there's a parking lot, so they can't smoke inside the store, and they like smoking. So they light a smoke from the parking lot to the store, right? Now it's a walk, and a lot of smokers who smoke, especially who smoke TaylorMades, can afford to just drop the cigarette on the ground. So a lot of these cigarettes aren't fully smoked, right? There'll be like 3/4 or half a cigarette or whatever, and they tend to accumulate in certain areas, right? Or like, for example, the wind is wily, right? It withers at its own fucking will. But the wind is also very beneficial. It's helpful. It's fucking useful. It's fucking necessary. But if you know how to work with it, right? It's not always on your side because it doesn't give a shit about you. It's the wind. But if you fucking understand its regularities and you understand its base principles, and, you know, like, wind blows either east to west or up south, north to south, or, you know what I mean? And it'll blow things that are light along with it. Now, things that are light, like cigarette butts or halfies or whatever you want to call them, will blow with the wind. Now, they'll hit curbs, and there's like the corners where the sidewalk ends, and so somebody can pull onto the side street, and then the sidewalk begins, where cigarette butts will collect. It's just how the wind works, how things are fucking work, right? So if you pay attention to these like traps or nets or whatever, there's often cigarette butts within them. Now, a lot of these times, they're not always fresh, or they've been there for a while, or they've been rained on, or whatever the case may be, right? But the thing is, I have spots where I collect. I know regularities. I understand the base principles of the whole fucking thing, right? Therefore, I continuously, every day, go to certain spots, and I collect the cigarette butts. Now, when I first started doing this, a lot of times throughout my life or whatever, there will be old, 3-month-old, stale-ass fucking tobacco there, or, you know what I mean, all mushed up. But I clean things. So I'll clean out the ashtray, I'll clean out the fucking cinder butt, I'll clean out the area. And so when cigarette butts are placed there, and when people put down their halfies or whatever the fuck, then they're new. It's like a renewable, sustainable resource that is refreshed daily, right? And so I'm constantly getting fresh tobacco, right? Now, I know what to look for. This isn't my, like, I'm not fucking new at this. I didn't just figure this out yesterday. Like, I understand, like, what's a stale cigarette, like, what's stale tobacco, what's usable tobacco, what's fresh tobacco. And when I come back here, I don't just smoke, like, the halfies with their fucking, like, gross fucking used filter and shit like that. I will take apart the tobacco. I'll pile it up, right? And, like, just like anything, like, say, cereal, there is like, an okay, or, like, a allowable amount of non-cereal, right? Like rat shit or bugs or whatever. So, if that being the case, cereal boxes, you pour most of the time, you're just eating cereal, but there's a little bit of rat shit in there, right? Same with fucking everything. Like, that's how fucking factories and corporations and all that shit work, right? There's an allowable amount, like, within the limits, right? And so most people will eat the occasional rat turd or the bug or whatever. And they won't even notice. They don't even think about it. They aren't even aware of that. It's the same thing with tobacco. So when I empty out these halfies or the tobacco from the tubes, I will also sort it, right? So I'll clean up the tobacco stems or the things that really aren't supposed to be in there. You know what I mean, right? So if you really think about it, I'm smoking fresher tobacco. All right. Now, there's other things I do with tobacco, right? Because it's not always fresh. It's not always nice and pleasant, and it's not always dry and shit like that. So there's ways I've found workarounds, right? I've improvised. You know, like there's fucking ways I do things, right? That aren't the standard way, right? Just sometimes out of necessity, sometimes because I'm a fucking addict, sometimes just because, right? Well, that's all I'm going to say for now. Now, after all, the point of this was I did accidentally fucking, unfortunately, ding me tin. It spilt all over the ground. Like, I do have carpeting and shit, but this carpeting, I tried, like, for a minute there, because I am an addict. I was like, oh, maybe I could clean it, but no, there was, like, other leaves and fucking shit like that, like, within it, and I couldn't smoke it. So I dumped it out, and that's that, right? Sometimes in life, you have to accept things, right? Like, I kind of made a mistake. I wasn't paying fully attention. I should have known better, because this is not the first time it's happened. But the point is, after all, I'm a habituate tobacco fucking smoker, right? So, and this is kind of something I require in order to keep me fucking stable and sane throughout the day, just so I can carry on. So instead of fucking, unfortunately, you know, starting what I've required to be starting, I gotta go and do a run. I gotta go and do some hunting and gathering and foraging, where the foraging is to be had. It won't take me long, but that's that. All right.